Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. We are now on episode 2 of our latest connected arc. It's a 5-episode arc, our definitely not Willy Wonka arc.
We've recorded 3 episodes now. I think we got to lean into it.
It's Willy Wonka, everybody.
And it's
Sue us.
called...
Oh, fine. Apparently we haven't fixed the name, and it's just called Escape Roompaloompa. I'm so sorry, everybody at home. We couldn't do any better. Welcome to episode 2 of Escape Roompaloompa. Every episode we have guests come on to play through a virtual escape room that exists just in the mind of everybody. It's a collectively imagined escape room. If we all forget about it, it'll disappear. In this episode we have 3 guests.
God.
There are 2 times an escape room dies. When you finish the escape room and when everybody forgets about it. This episode, we have 3 guests. We have Toby, Jeff, and Alex from the SideQuest Inn. Welcome, everybody. Talk over each other.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
This is great.
Toby, I think people who've been listening to the bonus episodes will have heard you recently. You were one of the players in the Gateways streams that I did on Twitch a little while ago, and I've just re-released as sort of episodes of the podcast for people to catch up on that sort of stuff. So people have heard you recently, but we've done some role-playing game stuff together, both online and off, well, always online because you live in America, but streamed and not streamed. Do you want to give a rundown of what the SideQuest Inn is as a podcast?
The SideQuest Inn is a group of friends. There's not just the 3 of us here. We have other friends in the world that we just showcase our home role-playing game. We are playing through some Pathfinder adventure paths. We're currently working our way through the War for the Crown adventure path, which we converted to 2nd edition.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just, I don't know, like a window into our game night. Like that's what we wanted to give people was just have a seat at our table and join the fun.
Some of our friends are on the show. We do have other friends. Some of them are on the show.
That's true.
It is a great show, and it is one of those ones where it hits that right balance that can often be, it's like the sweet spot in role-playing game podcasts where it isn't, it does feel like being part of someone's game, but it is also clearly has an understanding from the whole cast that it is entertainment, that it is a piece of media. So it is really engaging. I think sometimes people either there's a tendency to either stray too far into this is just like gameplay and maybe forget that it's a show for people to listen to, or to go too far the other way and have it be so removed from the normal gameplay that it could be an audio drama. So I think like you're in a very nice sweet spot for that, where it feels like a game, but it is entertaining, it's engaging, it's fast paced. So for people who haven't listened to it, go and give it a listen. It is a great show to check out. You can start either your first season was Starfinder, and then you went over to Pathfinder for your current season. I think you can pick up from either beginning of those campaigns.
Yep. Sure can. Yep.
Yeah,
they're both great.
Yeah, go and give it a listen, everybody. So, when we have guests on the show, we always have the same 2 questions. The first question is, this is an escape room podcast, so what is your escape room experience? Jeff, did you want to start? What is your escape room experience?
The only escape room experience I have is like, and you maybe played them before too, like flash games online.
Oh, yeah.
You know, little click and hunt type things. I played those a ton. I've never actually gone and done one or done anything with other people, but I love puzzle games and stuff anyway. And so I've played a bunch of those. That's really the only experience I have other than that.
We're going to be the gateway drug.
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is interesting with escape rooms because that was kind of like, that was the pathway for escape rooms to exist. Like the flash game escape rooms existed before the physical ones. And it was like trying to capture that feeling in a physical space.
I remember the first time I saw a building that was like advertising escape room, and I was like, that's like a thing now? Holy cow. That was cool.
And Alex, what about you?
Kind of in the same boat as Jeff. I had a work team building thing where we went to an escape room, but there were so many of us that I contributed nothing. I contributed 0. I got to hold the door open, So
how many people did they try to stuff into a room?
Oh, there were at least 9 of us.
Oof.
It was a lot.
There's a certain tipping point, I feel, where you run out of things for everybody to do.
You definitely. I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good. great. I look like
Nice.
one of those. I look like a foreman or something. Everybody's building or doing work, and looks
So
good.
your escape room
at it.
experience is the same as your role-playing game experience.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, basically the same. Yeah, I just sit back and I just
Everybody
point
goes
and-
to reach for something,
yell
and we all
and-
look at you. And you just
and I go,
nod your
yeah,
head.
good job, do it. Yeah.
Perfect.
So that's it. I've not done really anything else.
Wonderful. And Toby, what about you? What's your escape room experience?
I actually invented escape rooms.
Whoa!
I
We should have researched this.
I knew it.
you didn't know it when you invited me, but I took those Flash games and back in 1836.
When the internet was invented.
When the internet was invented. I've done a few. I wouldn't call myself an expert or anything, but I have gone to I've done a Harry Potter escape room that actually it's the only escape room I've ever done. So I've done one escape room twice. I did it 2 times.
Does that count? Are you doing the same one twice?
I think so, because the second time I took your approach, Alex, and I just watched everyone else do it, and I enjoyed in their discovery of the escape room. But I haven't done. Oh no, I did do one other. It was an escape room in the dark. It was during Halloween.
Oof.
You had a flashlight to do the escape room, but it was one flashlight among like the whole group.
There were
Wow.
30
I'm gonna
people.
pass on that.
There are eight people.
That is hard. That is tough. It is
Jeez.
interesting that there are some of those that play with like being able to see, being not, and all the different sensory experiences. And it can be, it's one of those ones you have to know going in. I think some people go into that sort of escape room. It's like, oh, you won't be able to see and you'll be locked separately from everybody else. And it's like, I don't want to do this. Why didn't you tell? You should have put this on the website. I didn't want to go and do it. But it's a different kind of fun experience to have those senses taken away. So then the other aspect of this show is it is tabletop role-playing versions of escape room games. So obviously with the side quest in, I'm sure you all have at least some tabletop role-playing experience. But what is your tabletop role-playing experience? Why don't we go reverse order this time? Toby, what is your tabletop role-playing game experience?
Oh gosh, years. At least 17 years of
Nice.
role-playing games.
I have no idea how
time,
old you are, so I don't know how impressive that
He's
is.
18
but...
years old.
18. I've been going since I was 1. Actually, my I'm not going to tell this whole story because everyone says it's mine and Alex's love story. But I started my role-playing journey with Alex in high school. We used to skip class to go read like Dungeon Master's Guide and Monster Manual from 3rd edition.
We were very cool.
That is adorable.
Let that mislead you.
So
It's-
yeah,
it's-
lots.
It's a little set up turn for coolness. Like, yeah, me and my friend, we used to always just skip class. We wouldn't go to that stuff. we'd be skipping class so we could go into the library and read the Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual. Oh, but no, where are you going? So, oh, damn.
No, we drove in his green car to a park and read them in his car.
You can't do it in the same building. You're gonna get caught.
No. And you take the green car to the park, no one's going to be able to see it.
This is me
No, they won't.
in high school. I used to skip school, just walk into, go and sit down in the park and write fan fiction all day.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And I believe continuing my reverse order, Alex, what is your, other than skipping class to read the Monster Manual, what else is your tabletop role-playing experience?
Well, as we've covered, I do a lot of sitting back and approving of what other people do. That's generally what I contribute. But no, for real, 17 years I think is the right number. That's a long time. And off and on too, like I haven't just played with Toby. He hasn't just played with me. I mean, we're not exclusive. We have other relationships around the table. But yes, right now we're all together and it's been great in the last few years.
And Jeff, other than side quest in stuff, do you have anything else in your role-playing game history?
Yeah, I think I'm older than all of you, so besides JD, who's not here. I'm on 20 years now of role-playing experience. I've been playing since I was 19. And I started playing, funny enough, I grew up as a Mormon growing up, and so I went on a Mormon mission. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but you go for 2 years and you basically just talk about the religion the whole time and try to get people to join your church. It's really boring, and I don't recommend it. But anyway, to keep myself entertained, I picked up at a bookstore the Star Wars role-playing game.
Oh.
And And as I traveled around the States doing missionary work, I would get all these youngsters with me to play Star Wars role-playing games. I'd run games with everybody, and no one had ever even thought this was a thing, and it blew everyone's mind. And I've just been hooked ever since.
And then
stumbled across Toby.
Was that always the transition? I can tell you about another guy who used to walk around wearing robes, wielding a mystical power.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And then I'm like, all you need is this, and I hand him a D20. And they're like, what? What's happening right now? I'll see you on Sunday at 5 p.m. Bring chips, Mountain Dew if you can.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I think we should probably get into the room. Danny, are you ready to run your own role-playing experience?
Yeah, let's do it. You won your ticket to visit the illustrious chocolate factory of Matthew Martin himself. You grinned and waved to the paparazzi who were covering the grand event. Then you and the 5 other winners had the iron gates opened up for you. You walked in down a red carpet, through massive shining double doors, and then you were in. You are in. And now you have to get to work. Because you are not just here as a candy fan. You've got a mission. Your boss, Ken Arthur, with some special inside information, has told you a little bit about what's going to happen on this factory tour. It's going to be full of, let's say, tests and trials, disguised as innocent food exploration. Matthew Martin is looking for one of the lucky winners who passes his secret challenge. Your job is, at all costs, to become that lucky winner, whatever it takes. It can't be too hard. The other 5 ticket holders are all teenagers. Luckily, you look very young for your age, so you'll blend in with them easily. They'll never suspect a thing. As Matthew Martin leads you to the first major stop on the tour, though, it's a little hard to concentrate on the job because, wow. One more set of double doors has led you into a flourishing indoor forest. It's beautiful, but really it's not the looks that get you, it's the smell. Sugar, chocolate, cream, everywhere. This is the room where everything is edible. You thought it was just a myth.
I feel like I saw this in a movie once.
No, that's just in your pure imagination.
Oh.
Gotcha.
In the lower right corner, there is a massive tree producing perfect round fruits. And beside that are 2 tree stumps of different heights. In the lower left corner are 4 giant mushrooms. The top right of the room seems quite bare until you get over to the wall, which is covered in fruit-themed wallpaper.
Nice.
Up in the top left, quite far away, you can see a dark cave, but you won't be able to get too close to that because flowing from the center of the left wall up to the center of the top wall is a river. A brown river, but not in the polluted way. Liquid chocolate. Floating in the river with a boarding ramp on your side is a large boat so shiny it could be carved from a giant boiled lolly itself. The river flows off somewhere unknown to the left, but at the end at the top of the room, there is a huge vertical pipe leading upwards and out through the ceiling. Looks like it's supposed to suck up chocolate from the river and take it elsewhere to the factory.
Now, I'll bet I know what you're thinking,
says Matthew Martin.
You're thinking, couldn't that pipe fit a person inside and suck them up? Well, think again, because the pipe is switched off. So everything's okay and nothing bad could happen. Well, I've got some paperwork to take care of, so I'll leave you to enjoy yourself in here for a while.
Everyone else dashes off in all directions, ready to eat. One in particular, a boy named Anders, who's come here all the way from mainland Europe, seems ravenous. He is barely looking at what he's shoveling into his mouth. You look over at that pipe. You've been told to win this thing by any means necessary, and you are starting to see perhaps an opportunity to get Anders out of the running, shall we say. And now you are free to explore the room.
Okay.
That's our goal. I am here for this. Let's mess this dude up.
Anders?
Oh, we want to just push him in the river right now?
Yeah.
It
we
won't
just
do
ask
anything.
him
The pipe isn't working. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
let's say
not
the
working.
pipe's off. We'd have to
We gotta
turn
get
it
him
on
to
somehow.
turn on.
Why don't we just ask him to leave?
He doesn't want to.
Oh,
He's
great
hungry.
idea, actually. No, make him a doggy bag.
They said there's no wrong answers.
Yeah.
There's no wrong tries.
You've accidentally leaned a little bit too hard into your teenage persona. You accidentally aged it down a little bit too much. Now all of the other kids look down on you and don't listen to you. You have no authority.
Dang.
How many other kids are there?
There were 5 teenagers besides yourself on this tour.
Okay.
Do we see where it turns on? Like, can we see that?
You go take a look at the pipe, see what you can see with it. As Matthew Martin told you, definitely turned off, not doing anything. Looks like normally it would suck chocolate up from the river towards some unknown location. You glance around for any controls nearby, and on the north wall by the riverbank, you do find something. It's not your standard control panel. Honestly, you're not even 100% sure it is a control panel at first. It consists of 4 individual panels arranged in a square. So one in the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. 4 little squares. Each one of them has a picture of a water droplet on it. And on the outer edge of each panel is an arrow-shaped button. 1 button per panel, all facing the same way.
What do you mean button facing the same way?
So, like, they're all facing right.
And they're next to each of the 4 panels.
Yeah, each panel seems to have its own button.
Okay.
Can we push one?
You pick one arbitrarily, you press it. Its corresponding panel changes from displaying a water droplet to displaying a bottle of milk. Okay. you press it again, and now it's showing an apple. One more time. Now it's a carrot. And one more time, a cupcake. And one more press and it goes back to a water droplet. So you figure that's it.
Okay.
Bit of experimentation, and you find that all of the panels swap between those same 5 images. You frown at it for a moment, trying to figure it out, when you hear a noise of disgust come from behind you. You turn around, it's Anders. He's very close by. He's not looking at you, though. He does look very unhappy, even though he's been eating so much there's already food all over his face and a little bit on his shirt. There's something huge still in his mouth, which he spits into his hand.
Ugh! A wrapper? I thought everything was edible.
He scrunches up what must have been an errant chocolate bar wrapper and he chucks it over his shoulder, where it hits you square in the chest. That is disgusting. He doesn't even notice, he just walks away.
I'm off to eat gummy barbies.
Why did we invent gummy barbies for this?
Let's pick up the wrapper and look at it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's a great
Look at
idea.
the wrapper. Just be careful. Don't get it all over you.
He might have
It's gross.
poison saliva.
It's just gross. No.
You peel the nasty spit-covered paper open. It's not the same colors as a normal Matty Martin chocolate bar. In fact, it doesn't look like a chocolate bar wrapper at all. The words on it, I don't know. Maybe some of them could be food-related. There is an image for this.
Great. I'm not an artist. I don't think I could do a candy bar wrapper. I barely made it through the milk carton.
Wait, you drew a milk carton?
Did you draw
I sure
each of
did.
them?
Yeah, I
Oh,
drew them all.
I just wrote it down.
I wrote it down too.
I drew a picture. I'm a picture person.
For people at home, you can see this image, but Jeff, do you want to describe what you see on this image? Honestly, it's not very artistic, is it?
It is not.
Better than what Alex would draw.
Quite the image. Okay. It says on it, tall equals take dogs to this currency. Short equals this moocher's cleaning you up. Left equals this drinks a rip with no end. And then right equals say this for the camera. That's everything.
What?
It's just text that says that.
It's just text. That's what's written on this wrapper. We didn't want to draw a lot of saliva.
Yeah, no, this makes sense.
You can imagine that at home.
Tall, short, left, right.
Can only imagine what kind of candy was in there.
Yeah, right.
Should we explore the rest of the room? Or should
Yeah,
we
Yeah,
I
there's
was-
still
on
plenty
the-
to look at.
I'd say we go like a clock and just
Okay.
get the fruit wall next.
An American
Okay.
clock or Australian clock?
Yeah, which I'm talking American clockwise.
Mm.
So we're going
Understood,
fruit wall
understood.
next.
It's probably a good
For a while.
idea because clockwise we all call the same thing, but going the opposite of clockwise.
Yeah, that's actually we don't use the same
boy.
word.
That
yeah,
is different.
isn't it?
Anti-clockwise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anti-clockwise.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, let's do the fruit wall. I agree, Alex.
Absolutely. You go over, you check out this wallpaper. It consists of a 4x4 grid with each square containing a picture of a different fruit. Some you recognize, some you don't. Oh. Okay, that's not all that exciting. You thought everything in this room was edible. Wallpaper. Typically not edible, but you will see a picture of it.
Again, for people at home, you can see this image linked in the show notes below, but Alex is going to describe it for you.
It's basically like Candy Crush in different lanes. There's like different fruits. There's a Neil. Toby, there's a Neil.
I was going to say Neil, but you were describing and I didn't want to.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. There are 4 lanes, vertical, like swim lanes. There's a pear, a lemon, cherries, grapes in the first, banana, a giant cherry, but I think it's supposed to be an apple, and then something that looks like a yellow bell pepper, and then a kiwi, and that's the second lane. And the third one has either a large grape. Yeah, it's definitely a large grape. An orange.
Plum.
A plum. It could be a plum.
Thank you.
Um,
Billy didn't recognize it either.
I'm team large grape.
and then there's some blueberries, 5, 6 blueberries, and some kind of squat pumpkin looking thing at the bottom. And that's the third lane. The fourth lane is a slice of watermelon, a Neil, a lemon, and a pineapple. And now
A Neil.
a Neil
Explain the
is,
Neil.
It is this just horrifying creature that Toby created for our game. It is a character that you can basically give him stuff. He's like a pocket, but you don't always get the things back from him that you want. So,
excellent.
And it's very strange because it looks exactly like that. Like, I don't know how you managed to draw it, but
really
that
does.
is exactly what it looks like.
It's a sapient fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's alive.
Perfect.
I forgot to mention that.
Now, let's try to stretch my memory about the fruits that I researched to create this image. Was that one a rambutan?
That's a rambutan.
I was going
Now-
to say
That's what it
rambutan.
is.
A rambutan. Wow,
Where's
I guess
the
I'm the
happy?
only one. I was on the back of the cart here.
Well, I was impressed with Alex's identification of the kiwi because I always thought, oh, there's a lot of fruits and then a bagel. I'm like, that's weird.
There's a very bad bagel.
It's like, I think the bagel's a clue, you guys.
On this image, Billy made me color in the center of it a little bit more because he thought it looked too much like a hole.
But
Oh,
look,
yeah.
if you think it looks like a bagel now, you should have seen it originally.
So yeah, the
Wonderful.
squat pumpkin. My intention was for that to be a mandarin. The
okay.
first
All
one
right.
that you called a lemon is greener than that, so that's a lime.
Oh,
Now,
I
the one
meant
that
the
you
lime.
the one that you called an ugly bell pepper. Okay, here's the thing. I don't remember what fruit that was.
Yuzu, maybe.
It wasn't a yuzu. I know that I would remember if it was yuzu, but I cannot remember what it was. But yeah, it looks kind of a bit like a capsicum, a bit like an apple that's been molded wrong, and it's yellow.
If we touch it, can we touch the wall? Is that an option?
You can absolutely touch it. As far as you can tell, there might be like a little bit of raisedness on the lines for the fruits, but you don't get any new information that way.
Are we supposed to lick it?
Yeah, we should schnozberry it.
Yeah.
Taste the schnozberries.
Get the
That's what the
schnozberries
yellow one
going.
was. It's a snozberry.
I wanted to make at least one
Oh, yeah.
ambiguous that people probably wouldn't recognize right away.
That's perfect. Let's lick it.
Yeah, why not? This whole room is probably about as unsanitary as everything else. So you lick you start with the snozberry, and as far as you can tell, wow, that tastes like a
The
snozberry.
snozberries taste like snozberries.
Yeah, you try another, and that's amazing. It tastes exactly like the fruit. Being thorough, you try each one. Each one is just a flavor bomb after another. Hold on, that's not right. Oh, those grapes. That does not taste like grape. That tastes like banana. What? You go up and you lick the banana, and it tastes like grapes. Maybe flavors can get switched during production by mistake. Well, that was disconcerting. You keep going, and you realize there are a couple of other mistakes on here. The pineapple tastes like pear and vice versa, and the mandarin tastes like watermelon and vice versa.
Watermelon tastes like mandarin.
We're picking up clues left and right.
And these don't move? We can't move these stickers?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Should we continue our clockwise?
Yeah.
That would be the tree
Tree.
with round fruit and
yeah,
the
you're
stumps.
down to the bottom right corner now. The tree looks pretty great. None of the other visitors are paying it much attention. They probably assume it'll just be fruit, boring, so why bother? But you think you know Matthew Martin a little bit better than that. You approach it, you take a look at the big round fruits hanging from its limbs, and you knew it. These aren't fruits at all. These are spherical cakes. You don't know how he's done it, but he has made a tree that grows cakes, a different type on each branch, and there are branches galore.
Oh, wow.
Should we take one?
Sphere cakes. Yeah, let's take one.
You pull one off the tree, it comes off the branch without so much a crumb falling out of place. What's your flavor preference?
Not fondant.
Funfetti. Did you say not fondant?
Yeah, fondant is gross. Like if these are round fondant cakes, then we're gonna kick it like a soccer ball. No, funfetti, great. Let's do that.
I have no idea what that is.
It's the capital of Tuvalu.
It's
Wait, you don't know a funfetti? It's like fairy bread in cake.
no.
What?
It's it's white cake with colored sprinkles in it. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Sure.
Just so that it's just
Never
supposed to be
heard
colorful.
that name. Makes perfect sense. Seems like
It's
a great cake.
I'm sure it's a brand name for Brady Crocker or something.
You could have asked for a graham
But
cake.
that's the cake you want, Toby? That's what we're choosing?
No, we can choose spice cake. You want spice cake?
Why would, of all the cakes, why do you choose like the worst cakes possible?
Yeah, man, come
What do you
on.
mean?
There's every cake. If you want a funfetti cake, there's a fun. Well, technically, there is a confetti cake. The funfetti cake is a registered trademark of a brand, apparently.
Yeah, it is actually.
So he can't.
it
steal
is?
that.
Then spice cake or chocolate or vanilla.
Okay, Jeff, you pick one. Toby can't decide.
Let's just get carrot cake.
Carrot cake.
You're not doing any better than he is.
I know, I picked that one on purpose. Just to disappoint you, Alex.
Oh, it's working.
Okay, carrot cake.
Carrot cake it is. You have a spherical carrot cake in your hand.
Where's that Ander guy? Let's throw this at him.
Oh, let's let him eat it.
He threw something at us.
You throw it at him, he catches it in his mouth.
He unhinges his jaw.
What?
The cake
how
flies
big
right
is
in.
it?
Senses it.
Nom 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 nom. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
is
like
it-
it's massive. It's a huge
Okay.
cake.
No,
It's like a basketball.
It's not a basketball.
I
It's
thought
like
basketball.
it's like a bocce ball.
Okay,
Oh.
Okay.
like one
Like a
hander.
little, yeah.
You could one-hand it.
What about the tree stumps right next to this?
The two stumps here, based on their size difference, it's almost like they've grown into a table and chair right beside each other, which is kind of quaint. On the taller one, there is a single teacup. On the shorter one, there's nothing sitting on it, but when you look closer, you see that somebody has painted some letters on it, and you're going to see a picture of that.
For people at home, you can see this in the show notes. Toby, would you like to describe this stump to the people at home?
Yeah, it's a stump. There are circles on the stump, and in each rings, not circles, there's rings, and in each ring, there's letters. So there's 4 rings, starting from the outside. Oh, there's different colors too. So there's blue letters, yellow letters, white letters, red letters. The blue letters go from out to in, M-P-U-T. The yellow letters from out to in go O-A-D-H. The white letters out to in go R-W-C-Y. And the red letters go L-S-E-I.
So it seems like these letters correspond with their both color and section, I would assume.
Yeah, and they're just painted on there.
I noticed that there are 4 sections the same as a wallpaper. So I don't know if that's something similar. You guys think about that.
There's also 4 panels.
The banana tasted wrong, and there's yellow letters.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got, though. The other fruits don't correspond.
Well, I mean, each fruit does have colors in it, and it seems to be the same. I would assume kind of similar or same colors. Maybe not in each.
The teacup, it's empty.
You take a look at the teacup. For all you know, it's as edible as everything else around here, but you're not too sure about that, so you don't try. Inside, there is a steaming cup of... Okay, you thought it was very weak tea, but no, that's just hot water.
I don't have any ideas for this section yet.
I don't either.
Should we
That's
keep
fair.
our circle going and
I
then
say we still keep going.
okay.
Yeah.
So the mushrooms?
There are 4 big mushrooms here. They're neatly growing in a line from left to right. And although they're all slightly different heights, each one is still almost as tall as you. The tallest one is second from the right, and the shortest one is second from the left. And the far left is shorter than the far right.
Okay, I'm going to need that one more time.
That's what I
The
assumed.
second.
Yeah.
Oh,
I tried, but go for
I
it.
drew it, Alex. I got you.
You got it? You nailed it?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, the tallest is the second from the left. The shortest is the second
Wait,
from the
second
right.
from the... Wait,
No,
other
that's
way
the
around.
Oh,
You
backwards.
failed, Toby! You got it wrong straight away!
You know, swapping hemispheres, swapping directions.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This is
that's what it
you
was.
got to think we're in Australia. So in Australia, the tallest is the second from the right, and
Oh,
the
okay.
shortest
I was-
is the second from the left. It's cultural differences.
Okay, I should actually write this.
All right, so what is
And
it really?
the left is taller than the right?
The left
No, the
is
far left is shorter than the
than
far
Shorter.
right.
Okay. Okay.
So it goes second shortest, shortest, tallest, second tallest.
What color are they?
Oh, let's get into that. So the stalks, they are broad, a little unsteady and pale. You poke one, your finger goes right into it. It is ice cream. The stalks of these mushrooms are straight up vanilla ice cream. How that's not melted, you're not sure. The mushroom caps are all classically bright red, definitely not ice cream. You expect them to have those, white spots all over them, like in that classic image of a mushroom that apparently is super deadly. But instead of white spots, there are just divots, about fist-sized divots all through it, just holes that don't go all the way through, but they're all over the surface. You also notice that each mushroom has one hole right in the top center that looks a little bit more intentional than the rest, because these ones, right in the top center, perfectly hemispherical.
Ooh, what if we take cake from the cake tree and
Mhm.
put it on top of the ice cream and we make ice cream cake?
I think that's a good idea.
On it. Yeah.
I mean,
I love
cake
it.
and ice cream definitely sound like they go together. Inside a giant mushroom is a bit of a weird take on it, but yeah, why not? You just pull one of your spice cakes down, you stick it in the top of one of the mushrooms. It is a perfect fit. That said, all of the spheres on the tree and all of the mushroom center holes are the same size, so theoretically could have gone anywhere and anything could have gone into it. So nothing happens when you do this, but you do feel like absolutely these things are a natural pair.
So we didn't win?
Oh no, yeah, the room's over. Congratulations. Thank you
Nice.
guys for
Let's not
listening. I hope
forget-
you enjoyed the show. Oh, sorry.
Let's not forget what we're trying to do here, and that is win the game, get rid
That's
of
right.
the children.
We need to get
Teenagers.
Anders into our goal is to turn on this chocolate vacuum
Yes.
and then get Anders in the chocolate to go into the vacuum and away wherever.
Mhm.
I forgot.
The funniest part about writing this room was going, cool, I know that people who know this movie will understand exactly what their goal is for this room. How do I
Right.
make this not seem weird for someone who doesn't know the movie?
Oh, how about this? You look across and you see standing next to the river Anders in his little lederhosen, and he says, "Nobody could ever make me fall in this river. I would never get sucked up this pipe. Hard, 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 hard," like that.
Oh, he's asking for it.
He's totally asking for it.
I'm
I
going
have
to
an
shake my
idea.
little rump at you.
Okay.
You'll never be able to push me in.
I'm ready.
If those cakes are the right size, what if we placed the cakes in a certain order on the mushrooms? Tallest to shortest, or shortest to tallest in a certain order, and see if that did anything.
You can absolutely do it. Do you have any cake flavor preferences that you would like to put in these mushroom holes?
Well, if they're all vanilla, then let's do chocolate, I guess.
You just grab some standard chocolate cake, you put them in all 4 of them, you pay attention to the order you're putting them in. Again, they're perfect fits, but nothing
Right.
happens.
There's remember the wrapper?
That's what I was
It
going
has-
to say.
It has tall, short, left, right. So
Oh, that's right. It
I
does.
think that probably has something to do with this, but I don't know what yet.
Tall
you're right.
equals
Okay, it's the types of cakes. I get it. Okay, so right is cheesecake. Left is so I don't know what the rest of it is, but I know that's
What?
cheese. And there's
Why is
cheesecake.
right cheese? What have you
How
done
do
there?
you
Because it says, Wright says, say this for the camera. What do you say? You'd say cheese. So all of these is a riddle for a word that we need that gives us the type of cake we need for each
You
one.
got it. Okay, so cheesecake, we take a cheesecake bulb and put it on the right mushroom.
Great, you do that. It's a perfect fit, but you've taken all of the other chocolate cakes out of the other mushrooms, so nothing happens yet.
This drink's a rip with no end. Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew cake. That's the right answer. Think of cakes.
Do the dew. It's a rip without an end.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say licorice, but I realized as I was saying it that that's not a cake.
Tell me. Remember we said earlier he would eat anything. You love all these weird flavors. Mountain Dew cake and red vine cake now. We got to try to figure out how to make
red
that
vine. That's what I was thinking of, red vine, not licorice. Oh, the tall one is pound cake.
Okay, you're right. Take Dox's currency. Okay.
So we take a pound cake bulb and put it on the tall mushroom.
There is a branch of pound cake, so you do exactly that. 2 down.
Awesome. All right, what do we got next?
Moocher's cleaning you up.
So he's taking all your money from you.
This moocher's cleaning you up. This moocher. What's a moocher? A robber. There's not a robber cake. Thief cake?
No, moocher's like a layabout, or they're like lazy.
Taking advantage of
lazy cake. No bake cake.
No bake cake?
There is no lazy cake.
There is no wrong answers in brainstorming.
There is no wrong answer.
No.
Except for that one. Here. There's no lazy cake.
Free loader cake.
Right.
This cake is loader free.
Not.
Oh,
okay.
I know what it is. It's sponge cake.
Sponge cake. Wow.
You nailed
it. Dang.
It's a moocher that can clean you up like a sponge.
Sponge cake
I love
bulb and put it in the short mushroom.
You do just that. 1 to go.
This drink's a rip with no end. Rip. Tear. Tear cake. Terry cake. Wedding cake.
You're
Wedding
very
cake.
Close. You were so close.
You're
Pear cake. Tier cake. A tiered cake. We take a tiered cake bulb. We take multiple bulbs and tier them on top of each other.
It is not a tiered cake.
Okay,
you're so close.
With no end.
So a tear with no end. If you keep ripping something. Well, I'm trying to think of also specific types of cakes. Like there's bunt cakes, which is fairly specific.
Oh,
but I don't know if bunt works with
close.
that. Right.
So this drink's a rip with no end.
And you were good to focus on the word tear.
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 Oh, tea cake.
Yes.
Tea cake.
Tea cake.
What is tea cake?
It's a cake you dip in your milk tea.
It's a milk tea cake.
Tea cakes? I have heard of tea cakes before, but I always thought those were like cookies, basically.
Well, look, let me just say, right? Picture 180 grams of cubed butter, 3/4 of a cup of caster sugar.
Wait, I gotta write this down. It's a clue.
Extract, 2 eggs, 1¼ cups of self-raising flour, 1/4 cup of plain flour, 2 teaspoons of Coles brand cinnamon, half a cup
Australian
of milk,
it is
a tablespoon of caster sugar, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a teaspoon of melted butter. Right? What I'm going to need you to do is preheat your oven to 170 degrees Celsius. Grease and line a 20-centimeter round cake pan with baking
We got
paper.
Celsius. We got centimeters.
Beat the butter, sugar, and vanilla. You're getting an image of it right now.
Totally.
Sift your flours and your cinnamon together.
You're walking me through it.
Fold in milk. How do you fold in milk?
Why are we doing this escape room? We could be making these cakes. What? Our priorities are not straight.
Yeah, we just need to have a baking episode.
Sounds so good.
I have been thinking that if we had a better kitchen, we would definitely do that on Twitch sometime.
Do some baking streams.
Try to do baking streams.
And have our chat have to give us puzzles that we have to solve to get the proper
to make the ingredients.
I'm going to be cooking something. We don't need extra puzzles.
I think actually that's the best idea ever.
You don't know what you're going to cook. Yeah.
I love this clue.
I'm so glad you got that, Toby.
Thank you.
So glad.
Tell you what, everybody at home, when we hit $2,000 a month on Patreon, we will do a puzzle-based baking
renovate our
stream.
kitchen so we can do a puzzle
We'll go to someone
baking
else's
stream.
kitchen. We'll bring our streaming
my parents
gear somewhere
have a good
else,
kitchen.
and we'll do a puzzle-based baking stream. That's the new promise. That's the new goal.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
So you've got another cake? Tea cake.
Tea cake. We take a tea cake bulb and we put it on the left mushroom.
You approach that final mushroom, cake sphere in hand, and pop it in the center hole. Perfect fit. All the cakes sit there for a moment, and then, to your surprise, all of those little divots across the surfaces start filling up. At first you think, oh my god, there's bugs in there, but on closer inspection, the one that you're standing right next to at the moment, that's tea leaves that are popping up out of them.
Yes.
You go over to the others. The one you put a sponge cake in, that's clearly little bits of sponge that are popping up out of them. The one that you put cheesecake into, that's cheese. And, oh my god, the one that you put pound cake in, that's just 1 pound coins.
You're rich.
Okay, so now we got different types of stuff. Well, there is a cup of hot water and tea leaves now. So we could make a cup of tea if we're
should
thirsty.
do that.
We should.
Okay.
You take some of those tea leaves, you go back to the stump, and you sprinkle the tea leaves into the teacup. The water colors immediately. Looks like a perfect cup of tea. Exactly the way you'd like it. Just the right strength, right fragrance. You want to pick it up and take a sip. But as your hand reaches for the cup, the water begins draining away. Whoa, hold on, that wasn't doing that before. You try to science this out in your head. Maybe the tea is reacting with whatever edible material the cup is made of, making it more porous. Yeah, whatever. All you know is within seconds, the cup is dry with only the tea leaves remaining at the bottom. They seem to have settled in an odd pattern. It's kind of like 2 capital L's stuck together. So there's a small vertical line going down. Then it turns right into a long horizontal line. And about halfway along, there's another short vertical line branching off going up parallel to the first line.
Or like a lazy F, right?
Yes.
A sleeping F.
Yes. So, okay. So the cup doesn't refill again. It just stays empty like that?
It does not, yeah.
If we dump out the tea leaves and put it back on the table, does water come back?
It's done. Okay. That tea has done its job, and
we
now
throw the
it's
cup
retired.
in the chocolate river.
Makes sense.
No, can we eat it?
Oh yeah, we should eat it. What are we thinking?
Yeah.
Of course
You take a bite. It's not
fondant.
the greatest
It's just a
tasting thing in this
fondant
room. Yeah, fondant.
Oh, it's exactly what you hate.
This is how you do it. You make a room to make a room where everything is edible. It's just all fondant. The whole
Yeah.
room.
Oh, it sounds terrible.
That is cruel and unusual.
It's very cruel. Oh god. We haven't checked the boat yet, guys. There is a game.
We haven't.
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
we
thinking
should
about
go
that.
check that real
Still a
quick.
couple of things to look at. The boat has an amazing decorative roof. It's got plentiful seating, and a big paddle wheel sits in the chocolate river at the back. It's not spinning. None of this boat is moving. You see a driver's seat up the front and a control panel before it, but that seems to be all closed up. You go up, you take a close look to confirm, and yep, the control panel for this boat is locked, and it needs a 4-letter password to open.
Of course it does.
4-letter password. Okay.
Does it have a keypad, or like how do you do the letters? Maybe I missed that.
Probably just a standard combination lock.
Okay.
What if I just what if you like spin it and just make it say boat? Can I just guess it? And
No,
be right?
hey, that's silly, but do it. That's a great idea.
You feel satisfied, but it does not unlock.
Yeah, it's too wily. I should have known.
I'm actually a ship.
Damn it. Oh, there we go. SHO.
No, it's too late now.
Was there
So
anything
great.
under the teacup on the stump? There wasn't, right? It was just
No,
a
not
blank
under the
stump.
teacup.
Okay.
Is there anything in the center of the room? Because we didn't really talk about that much, just things around the edge.
Center of the room, probably just as close as you can get to the chocolate river itself, which you can take a moment to look at.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
You take a look at the river. It is less than appetizing. None of the other people here are even looking at it. It's not the fact that it's brown. You know it's chocolate, but it's clearly been sitting here stagnating for so long that the emulsion is all starting to separate. There are little powdery bits that look like dirt floating around. There are even some parts of the liquid going white because milk and chocolate are no longer mixing. Look, if your plan is to get Anders sucked up the pipe by getting him close to the river, you're going to need to remix this stuff to get it to actually look like good chocolate again.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming we do that probably with the paddles.
That makes
Oh.
sense.
So we
Mhm,
got to
yeah.
get that boat rolling again.
We have to
in
get it
order to do that.
open.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
And we don't want to get in the river. So just to be clear, there's no way we're swimming across to the other side.
It's a bit long. You can get a decent view of the cave over there from here, but yeah, you do not feel like going in that river.
Oh, let's look into the cave.
You get as close to the riverbank as you can. You look over there. At first, it's just a dark hole against the wall. So far away, you can't see anything except blackness. But then after a second, there's a flicker of light. There is something going on in there. Then another flicker. And another, and another. There are quite a few of them. And then instead of flickers, they are bursts of flame. And then, for a moment, you can see everything. There's people in there. Strange-looking people. With a curiously unreal skin tone, not like any human you've ever seen. Matthew Martin's employees? They're creating little fire pits and burning things on them. Vegetables. They're burning vegetables. Okay, chocolate factories just really hate healthy food, okay. You watch for a while, transfixed, and you happen to notice each fire is burning a bit differently. They're all producing different kinds of flames. And you are going to get what may be your final image for this room.
Yes, there's a new image for people at home. You can see it in the show notes. But Jeff, would you like to describe this image to the people listening?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. So what we're looking at is campfires that are in a arch or an arc setup. And we're looking at 11 fires total that each have a different color. Now I'm going to ask for some assistance on colors because I am colorblind. And so I will not get all of these correct.
This is why we make these things a team sport.
Exactly, yeah. Well, what's interesting about these fires is there seems to be a pattern within the colors, and then colored rings that emanate, it looks like, above each of the fires, corresponding to the same color of flame below.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of these fires has a ring above it of a different quantity from 1 up to 4, it looks like.
Yeah, and Toby, do you want to give us a ring color update?
Yeah. Starting from the bottom left and just arcing like a rainbow. Red, yellow, red, blue, blue, gray, yellow, red, yellow, blue, red. And then the ring numbers. Do you want me to tell the ring numbers?
Please.
Well, first red has 4 rings, yellow has 3, red has 3, blue has 1, gray has 3, yellow has 4, red has 3, yellow has 3, blue has 4, red has 2.
First thing I notice is the colors correspond with the letters on the stump.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, I didn't even realize that.
I had 2 thoughts. Jeff, that was one of them. The other one, before I forget it, is that the wallpaper also looks like a combination lock. So like,
Yeah, I was
it's
thinking
like
that too.
vertical lanes, and so anyway, let's not forget that. But
Waffles.
let's stick with the stump thing because I think that's our pretty clearest clue right now.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So if we do the first letter on 4, that's going to be I.
I'll read you the color and then the smoke ring number, and you look at the tree stump and write down what the letters are. How's that?
Okay. Wait, are we going left to right always?
I was just going to go from the left to the right around the arch.
I mean, like on the tree stumps, like yellow is HDAO, or is it OADH?
I would say that in accounts with a fire rings, it's almost like the rings, I would say, start at the center and work outwards.
That's
They
what I
emanate
Oh,
outwards.
Me
for
too.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was
I
thinking.
agree.
So I'll tell you the color and then the number of rings, and then you write down that letter, right?
Okay.
Following?
I follow you.
Okay, so red 4,
That's L.
yellow 3,
That's A.
red 3,
S.
blue 1,
That's T. That's last.
blue 1,
Another T,
Another T.
gray 3,
It's a W.
W.
Yeah.
yellow 4,
Oh, yep. So last
Nailed
2.
red 3,
S.
yellow 3,
A.
A.
blue 4,
M.
red 2.
Last 2 same.
Okay. Getting somewhere.
Last 2 same.
That was so good.
I think those strange men are sending us some kind of signal. Last 2 same. Now that's that. I wonder if that's corresponding to the code on the boat
I
or
think
to
so, yeah.
the
Or
four
the
panel
control
thing.
panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of feels like everywhere is giving you tiny bits that are going to work towards one big whole.
Definitely.
Where else have we seen letters? Because if the combination lock is letters,
The only thing I've seen is the names of the fruits on the wallpapers can start with the letter.
So I was thinking with the wallpaper. So like, for example, the grape tastes like banana. And if we just swap banana and grape ourselves and then start with like, does the first letter do anything? Like in the banana column, it'd be like G. Is that an apple? That was an apple?
Yeah.
Now here we have the problem of me not remembering what at least one of the fruits was.
What was that yellow one?
Exactly. I don't remember. So maybe that suggests that first letters are not important
That's
for us.
probably not what it is.
That makes sense.
Okay, good to know.
My ignorance is a clue.
Well, then, I'm wondering about colors then, because they're all very basic colors. You have yellow, green, red, blue. Yellow, red, yellow, green.
And I got a color wrong, but it's green earlier. Green.
But then there's purple for plum, so I don't know if that's supposed to be.
Yeah, and there are definitely a few different greens going on.
Yeah, and then that last column's a bit rude. A pink and a green, a red with green on
I suppose
it.
you're right. What is up with this?
Banana. Pineapple tastes like pear. Watermelon tastes like mandarin. There's only 3 that taste wrong.
Well, 6.
All paired up, but yeah, 3 mistake pairs.
Last 2 same feels important, obviously, because it was a clue.
Right.
So do you think it means that, what if the last 2 letters in the boat are F? Because we found an F.
Not impossible.
Certainly true. Plenty of words also and an F.
Like Jeff.
Yeah, that's true.
Why else did we get him on the room?
It's my.
We do it. We spell Jeff.
That doesn't
Nothing
work.
happens.
Why would that work, you guys? Let's use our heads here.
So I think, the stumps were together, right? We had the T and this stump. So I think the F is the last 2 letters.
Maybe. That's a good.
Well, then what were the first 2 then? We just haven't
Yeah,
figured
this is
out
the
yet.
thing. There are definitely other letters that you've got to search for.
Yeah.
I don't know if this matters, but like grape and banana, pineapple, pear, watermelon, and mandarin, 3 of those are like the top row. So like the pear is at the top, the banana's at the top, the watermelon's at the top. It's the only thing I can think of. It may not be relevant, but those are the things that have been switched. I have no other ideas about this Snosberry wall.
Yeah, I don't either.
What if we start just pushing buttons on the control panel?
We did that already.
The pipe panel.
We did.
Yeah, what did that pipe panel do again?
It switched from water, milk, apple, carrot, cupcake.
And there were 4 buttons: a top left, a top right, a bottom left, a bottom right.
It was like a square, right?
Yep.
And then the arrows on the side were all pointing to the right.
Yep, they just seem to be generic cycling between options buttons.
Oh, I gotcha. I see what you mean.
Are we 100% sure that this thing is what starts the pipe?
It feels likely.
Yeah, visually, it's like a control panel connected to the mechanics of the pipe.
Okay. Maybe we want to mix the chocolate before we start sucking it up the pipe, because isn't it gross right now?
It is.
It is gross. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, then last 2 the same. We have to find 2 more letters. I'm guessing they come from this fruit wall. That's my guess.
That's my guess too. That's what I'm looking at.
I agree.
Pineapple tastes like pear.
Yes. Watermelon tastes like mandarin.
Why does grape taste like banana feel like the most like out of place?
Because they're so different.
If ever you get banana flavor when you weren't expecting it, that's always the most unpleasant.
That's true.
Absolutely true.
I don't know. Grape tastes like banana. Pineapple tastes like pear.
Oh, you know what? Is it N? Is it the pattern that they make if you like connect the ones?
Oh my gosh.
Is that it?
Oh, I think you're probably
right. Is it N?
Okay, grape.
Well, would it? Yeah, I guess it would.
Wait, the line crosses. It's the same line. Watermelon
Yeah,
tastes like
it
mandarin.
ends up looking like something like
An
this.
X. It's an X.
Is it an X? I don't know what it is. It's a letter, some kind. Yeah, an N.
And you
Oh,
got
okay.
it right,
Boom.
Alex. You
It
were
was
right
an
on.
N. I see what I did wrong. I had mistaken what the grapes were. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I think that might be true.
Oh, I
okay.
did the same
I
thing.
see.
It's not
I
a big
I
grape,
was-
you guys. We just
What are
established
the
that that was a
purple
plum.
things?
No, what are those are blueberries.
They're
Like an idiot. My
blueberries.
colorblindness strikes again.
But you know what it is? It's one of those things where the blueberries do
They
kind of
are
look like
ambiguous.
they kind of look like grapes, but the grapes definitely
Look like grapes.
You're
I
right.
know.
But the blueberries, out of context, they look like they could be grapes until you see the grapes,
And
and
I
you're
looked
like,
at the
oh
grapes
my
100
god.
times, and I'm like, "There's just 2 grapes." But in my head, these were.
Same.
I'm an idiot.
And I'm like,
It'd be
these
like-
lines keep going the same direction. Okay, it's an N. So we need another letter.
Progress.
Okay, fruit wall's done. We're done with fruit wall. We're done with the stump. We're done with the cupcake business.
Yeah, it feels like the only things to really clear, obviously, got to fix up the chocolate river, this pipe business, and the boat.
Okay, what else was on the boat?
Yeah, all I mentioned was that it had a decorative roof and plentiful seating.
What's on the roof?
The roof, what are roofs?
I don't know, it's made out of
Shiny.
yeah, but it's got to be something edible. It's made out of
Yeah,
fondant.
I said it was like a boiled lolly.
Everything's fondant.
You're torturing
Structural
me.
fondant.
What about like the paddle section? We didn't really look at that, right?
No, you walk past all of the seats, you look at the paddle wheel at the back, and you get the impression that your idea was exactly right, that if you can get that paddle wheel going, that will churn up the
Okay.
river and make it tasty.
Okay. And then anything special about the seats then themselves?
You take a look at these seats. The tops of them are all pristine, but you're not leaving anything to chance, so you also check out underneath them. Thankfully, no gum, no other gross stuff, but wedged under one of them is a little piece of paper with some very small handwriting on it. It says password. And, well, okay, this is annoying. There was writing underneath. At some point, it's gotten chocolate water on it or something, so everything is smudged except for one bit. It doesn't seem that helpful. It's just a little horizontal line. You guess that could be part of a password.
Horizontal line.
Just a
Just
horizontal
a little
line.
horizontal line.
Is it H?
It's an underscore or a dash.
Does this
like-
little spinner wheel have dashes or underscores in the password?
No,
No.
it does not. Only
Okay.
letters.
Whatever letter it is going to have a horizontal line. So it's like, you can't be like a T. Well, I guess it could be a T. Shoot. I know my letters. The alphabet has 26.
Based on where the smudging is, you don't think it looks like anything connected to this horizontal
Oh.
line.
Okay.
Just
It looks
a
like
line.
that's all it
Yeah,
was.
it's like where the other letters could have been, it's gotten all wet. But where that horizontal line is
That
nice
was
dry paper.
And it is parallel with the word password. So it's not like vertical. We're not holding it sideways or
You
wrong
are
way.
definitely not holding this sideways.
Okay.
You are holding it correctly.
I look at my notes like they're going to just speak to me.
Why
But-
why would it matter, Jeff, the way you're holding it?
because the letter I is just a line. But if it's sideways, then it's not an I anymore, I guess. But if like, for instance, if you wrote like, NIF or FINN, for instance, vertically, the I would look like a line with smudges all over it.
Now,
what
where
I'm
did you
talking
get
about.
this F
Yeah, and
from
where'd the F
again?
come from?
The T.
Oh yeah,
leaves.
that was the T.
Tea leaves. Maybe it's not an F.
But why did you think it was an F? Or how did you describe it?
It was a lazy F with sideways.
Yeah.
So even all these things are all sideways. So it is an I then probably.
So it's fin.
That's
Yeah.
the only other
It's
thing that I
fin.
could think.
Yeah, I think
That's the
might be
only
right.
thing I could think of.
Yeah.
try it.
FINN or NIFF.
Now,
Let's try
that
fin.
does
fin.
not work. Now, let's have a talk about this N business.
So it's a Z or something.
Oh, because it's
Oh,
also
'cause we had to
sideways.
turn it
All the letters
sideways.
have been sideways this whole time. Of course it's a Z.
Of course. Oh my gosh.
Every letter's been sideways.
It's fizz.
It's fizz.
The lock clicks, the boat panel opens for you. Well done. It's got a very surprisingly small steering wheel inside. It also has one big lever labeled paddle.
Let's
You
pull
pull
it.
the lever.
Yeah. Pull it.
You pull that down. There must be some sort of handbrake in place because the boat doesn't start moving, but the paddle wheel is spinning. And as it spins, it churns up the river chocolate. And as the river chocolate is churned, it starts to mix together properly. Must be why the boat's even here. Pretty soon, the river looks delicious. So much so that Anders on the shore nearby takes notice. He races for the riverbank, not caring that he's at a pretty precarious spot. He bends down to take a handful of the stuff. Must be good because he takes another and another and another. You're so close, but the pipe is still not working.
The chocolate river is so tasty.
What if it's just all cupcakes? Because it's like a sweet place.
It's no
It's
way.
just
it'd be
all
that
cupcakes.
easy. Why
Yeah,
have
watch.
5 options?
Watch. We put them
Okay.
all the cupcake.
The pipe starts up. The sweet room. No.
I feel like that we're missing something to this panel.
Yeah, I do too.
I do
Missing.
too.
Like we're missing the hint that that will give us a clue, or we've gotten it and forgotten it.
You have everything that you need for this final room puzzle.
Okay, all right. Well, we got water, milk, apples, carrots, and cupcakes. So 5 options for 4 panels.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing water is not it,
why?
is my guess. Because it all
Why?
started on water. So I'm guessing water's neutral.
Water is pretty neutral.
Okay, I like that. That sounds good.
I like to eat an apple and then drink some milk before having a carrot cake.
It's a cupcake.
So we do milk, apple, carrot, cupcake.
It is true, though. That would make a lot of sense if the buttons were laid out left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you could do like a story from left to right, but they're not laid out that way.
They're a square.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's one in the top right, one in the top left, one in the bottom left, one in the bottom right. So they're the corners of a square, effectively.
The corners of a square.
Yeah, I mean they're laid out in a square, but like one is the top right quadrant. Yeah, like that.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Bingo,
okay.
bango.
I got no ideas, gentlemen.
Well, here's what I think. I mean, milk and cupcakes go together, and apples and carrots are vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, apples are
and carrots.
fruits, dog.
You're right. They're not vegetables. They're
Carrots are vegetables. Apples are
okay.
fruits.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to put
No, it's
information out there.
But
This is
they're
all good.
food. Oh, because they don't like vegetables, remember? They were
Fruits and
burning
solids.
vegetables.
Oh yeah, maybe you do all carrots because they want to suck them away out of.
Yeah.
the
Oh my
chocolate
gosh.
river.
We do all carrots.
Yeah, let's do all carrots.
All carrots does not work, but it is also good information to know that in that cave over in that part of the room, they were indeed burning vegetables.
How do we know which one? Like, this is just a question to bring up. We not only do we need to know what items they are, we need to know which quadrant they go in.
Yeah.
So how are we supposed
exactly.
to figure that out too?
Right.
There's some kind of spatial element that is going to help us there.
Yeah, if carrot were an option, where would it be
go?
on those 4 buttons?
Right.
Last,
Exactly.
because nobody wants a carrot.
Well, there's no last. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's last if you go like this.
If you go like that,
suppose.
but why
there's
would you go like
there's,
that?
There's last if you go clockwise, then last would be the top left, maybe, or maybe that's
We
at
can make-
first.
We can make an N, a Z, an S.
And then, oh my god, it's Fizz! Time!
Yeah. Oh my god, I just got it.
You did?
Yeah. So I mean, we're in a square room already, and there's a
Yep.
tree with around things like apples.
Oh,
So bottom
Jeff.
right's apples.
Mushrooms.
They're burning vegetables in the upper left, so that's where the carrot will
Carrots.
go.
You're so right.
You got it.
Fruity wallpapers or apples is in the upper right,
Mm-hmm.
and ice cream and stuff is in the bottom left. So cupcake, I would assume. Let's try
But then
that.
where's the
No, or maybe it's cupcake in the bottom right.
The cake tree
Cupcake bottom right. Apple is top right.
Top right.
with all the fruit.
Carrot is top left.
Yep.
and
all
then
the
milk
vegetables.
is
Milk
bottom
is
left.
Milk is
left.
bottom left.
Cream. It's
Yeah,
also
because
called
of cream.
cream.
Right.
Well, it's just general dairy. They were ice
Dairy.
cream
Mhm.
mushrooms.
We put them
Yes.
in.
That's
You-
what it is.
Put that combination in, you cycle through the images until each one is like that. Top left carrot, top right apple, bottom left milk, bottom right cupcake. Soon as they are set, you hear a rumbling coming from inside the wall. Beside you, gears and wheels inside the walls of the pipe slowly begin to spin. You have switched on the pipe. It begins siphoning the river chocolate upwards. Anders is drinking from there. The pipe is chugging. Nobody else is watching. This is your chance. You creep towards Anders from behind, breathing very slowly, very quietly, visualizing how you're gonna accidentally run into him. But when you're still some distance away, a shout pierces your concentration.
Not the river! That chocolate must never be touched by human hand!
It's Matthew Martin. He's returned, and he's running as fast as he can towards Anders. So fast, in fact, that he barrels right into him, sending him tumbling face first completely into the river.
Oh no!
Matthew Martin raises his hands to his cheeks in horror. For Anders or for the chocolate? You aren't sure.
Well, at least the pipe isn't... Oh no!
This couldn't be going better for you, really. Everyone's heard Matthew Martin shouting. Everybody is now looking. They will witness him push Anders into the river, not you. The only one who saw you even anywhere near the pipe controls was Anders earlier on, and Anders, despite a lot of flailing, is being sturdily sucked towards the pipe's entrance, and pretty soon, zoom! Inside it, he shoots upwards through the ceiling to wherever it goes. I mean, honestly, a chocolate factory shouldn't have a safety hazard like this. Matthew Martin only has himself to blame.
And you've done it.
You have finished the room.
We did it!
We did it.
Yeah!
Alex, you weren't just standing by either. You were very helpful.
Very
Thank you. I appreciate that.